Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday, October 11th, through Saturday to come, October 17th. I'm happy to be doing it on 1010, which is one of my favorite days and one of my favorite numbers in general. In fact, I almost even changed my name to 1010, and I still may one day pronounce Max. 1010 in Roman numerals, MX. Yeah, so it's one of my favorites. So it goes along with one of my favorite pieces of scripture, John 10:10, which says that the devil comes to destroy, to kill you, right, to murder, to lie. But Jesus comes so that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So forward to seeing a bunch of abundance in this reading, and I'm excited about using today's energy to do it. I will mention that on the 13th is not only a feast day of Mary, which may affect some of us, Our Lady of the Pillar, but it is also the day that Mercury, the dreaded Mercury, enters retrograde in Scorpio. So, of course, Mercury's been approaching retrograde for about 3 weeks now in what they call shadow, and will officially go retrograde on the 13th in Scorpio, 11 degrees Scorpio. All right, with that, I think we can get started. We're beginning with sex, which is interesting because I had something to say about sex and intimacy and also sacral chakra and maybe even, our special areas in the general reading. Also, forget it and eat cake. Somebody could meet online and decide to go out for cocktails or make a proposal to do so. The answer might be no, though. All right, Spirit still says sex. Email. And still eat cake. This week I decided to use my Lover's Path Tarot. It is like a more romantic tarot deck for the love reading. And I wanted to use also, well, first I thought to use these. And then I was like, oh, I should clarify them with these. I'm using these instead of the Rider-Waite deck, by the way. And I'm like, I should clarify them with the hashtag creepy deck. And I pulled about 100 decks out of my drawer. I could not find those cards. I found the box, but not the cards themselves. Very strange. I said, maybe the universe does not want me to use those cards anymore. Because those of you who've been watching me for a while, you remember the story that my daughter told me not to use them in the first place. And then we kept using them. All right. Anyway, so I don't know where they are. I'm going to be using these. And then I'm going to use, I think I chose to use the Universal Light Oracle. I don't remember. Universal Love Oracle, rather. All right. So first, I have to tell somebody that it's probably a male or a masculine, divine masculine, that you have not seen for a while. The reason you haven't seen him is because he had a baby. And he wants to come back but doesn't know how to tell you. So that's for somebody. Also, for people separate, this could be on maybe a more positive note, depending upon how you feel about the baby. This could be him coming back without a baby, but like ready to start something new, to birth something new. So for fertile energy. And something else I was feeling about this card. Of course, the Knight of Cups in general can be about taking action with regard to messages of love. So the page brings the notice, brings the messages of love, and maybe makes the proposal. But that's kind of an action too, like making some sort of proposing something. So the Knight does that. And what else does he do? In terms of love specifically, this is another one of those cards that can be about being swept off your feet, particularly if you're single. If you're in a relationship, it can be about the final stages of commitment, or at least moving to whatever the next level is for you, and maybe having a baby. That could be something. And this could be him looking forward to being a father, with you. All right. The next card is very celebratory. It's Three of Cups, so that could go along with that, with again having a baby, or somebody returning with more fertile energy, brand new energy, ready to start something new. If there's been separation, or this could be celebrating entering again the next phase or stage or level of commitment, up to and including even marriage. Somebody could be getting married this week with like a genuine connection, a genuine, very likely like a genuine soulmate or something. Of course, the Knight of Cups, speaking of Mercury entering Scorpio, may in fact be a Scorpio or a Pisces or Cancer or someone like into those traits or attributes, but does represent, the water element, water energy, as does the Three of Cups. Three of Cups upright in a general sense, not even necessarily specific to love, can be about, it says that you will reunite with someone or something from the past that is a very positive reunion for you. So very possible that it is talking about something in this case. Someone in this case from the past. And again, I was feeling something about separation with this guy. But if it's something from the past that you're reunited about and it's positive and you're happy, tied to love, maybe like your engagement ring, you misplaced it, your wedding ring, or something sentimental, a love letter or note, you put it in a drawer, you can't find it, something like that. You could be reunited with this week. And the next card is in reverse. It is the Queen of Pentacles. This is what she looks like when she's upright. So opening first to the Seven of Cups. There may be a choice or the decision that has to be made. Knight of Cups. Major Arcana card Judgment, which represents the planet Pluto in the sign of Scorpio most directly. For me, Judgment is a super positive card. It's about abundance that is earned. And second chances. So in love, it could be a second chance, again, some sort of reuniting, reconciliation, somebody coming back to try it again. This time I'm coming back with more fertile and positive energy. And we just saw the Ten of Swords in reverse. So maybe getting over some sort of betrayal or something like that. It's coming to an end. The next card would be the Ace of Swords, which we may see. Actually, we saw both of those cards, the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse in the general reading. This one, the Nine of Wands, says that even if you feel like you don't have the energy to push any further, you do. The universe is going to see to it that you do and that you can. Major Arcana card 15, the Devil in reverse. In this deck, it's called Temptation. I'll do one more. And it is the Five of Swords in reverse. Of course, Five of Swords about conflict or being conflicted. It could be, in this case, one getting over a conflict, deciding they know what to do, maybe having narrowed down those 7 cups. I know which one or ones I want. I know what to do now, what my next steps are. And now I'm ready to take some sort of action in the form of the Knight of Cups. Oh, very nice. And that brings us to Cupid, the Knight of Swords. So again, this is very Mercury in Scorpio. And I believe in starting the general reading, we also saw the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So very nice. The Knight of Swords, or Prince of Arrows, as they call him here, is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, or again, could be representative directly of the planet Mercury or even Venus, both of which are rulers of air signs. Let me get the stand so we can look at the cards clearly. That should be good. So I'm going to pull one card for each element. The first card is for fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Your card is very nice. Major Arcana card, Fortune. This is the Wheel of Fortune, of course. Major Arcana card 10. Represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius most directly. So this is your own energy of fire. The next is the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And yours is Strength in reverse. You got it. You're just not necessarily using it. And My fellow air signs, I get stuck every single week on us. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is the Six of Arrows, our own energy. Six of Swords, upright. And last but not least, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Hierophant, upright. This very well, again, could be about marriage for you guys. Romeo and Juliet appearing on the card. Okay, looks like everything's in frame. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, going back to our overall energy of Cupid and the Knight of Swords. So it's not shocking or surprising that Cupid is on this card because, although Cupid for me is a Sagittarius, of course he's all about love. And the Knight of Swords, believe it or not, is another one of these cards, just like the Knight of Cups, that can be about being swept off your feet. And if you're currently in a relationship, again, it getting deeper, more satisfying, maybe reaching the next level, moving toward the final stages of commitment up to and through, including marriage. If you're single and looking, it can come along when you least expect it. And, obviously you're going to have to be out and about. But, you could be somewhere where you definitely don't expect to meet anybody, and then all of a sudden here they come. So having seen that twice over already, but between the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups, it just feels already like a very, very exciting week in terms of love and those who are looking for it or who have it. And definitely connections involving water signs and air signs strengthening. And I would say most especially Gemini, which of course is ruled by Mercury, and Scorpio, where Mercury is not only located, but again goes retrograde on the 13th. Air signs, by the way, are the only ones here without a major arcana card, but the Six of Swords is a positive card about moving always forward, whether it's metaphoric or it is literal, moving forward. So we'll talk more about that in a second. Going now to the beginning of the zodiac with Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is an awesome card, and it is about abundance. It is about everything that's beautiful in your life. But it's weird in terms of love. Again, this card does directly represent the planet Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. It is additionally connected to the fixed sign of the zodiac. So that would be fellow fire sign Leo, Taurus of the earth signs, Scorpio of the water signs, and Aquarius of the air signs, also connected to this energy very strongly. And in terms of love, it can be like the way your relationship is, for those who are already in a relationship, like the design, the dynamic of this relationship no longer suits you. And it has to be like amended, like renegotiated. We got to change it. Doesn't suit you, or doesn't suit your partner, or perhaps it doesn't suit either of you. For some people, that can mean that you're going to end the relationship, especially if both of you are no longer pleased with what you have. But this card doesn't show up to say that your relationship is doomed. It's not necessarily, but you're definitely going to have some conversations and decide what you want. And those conversations may lead to you deepening your relationship. Or if not, if it's a relationship that you really would rather not further, and or that your partner would rather not further, then since this is still such a positive card as it relates to love, can be about another relationship for you if you're ending one. Did we look at what was behind here? It's, oh my God. It's death. That's Mercury in Scorpio. Can you guys believe that? Isn't that crazy? It is, in this deck it's called Transformation, Major Arcana card 13. Isn't it funny too that the death card is number 13 and it's on the 13th when Mercury enters Scorpio? All right, so this card again is about transformation. So this would be there would be transformation for you either in your current existing relationship or in a new one for you. Those of you who are single, it suggests that before you, it suggests you get out there and mingle, But before you do that and maybe, choose somebody, that you think about what it is you're looking for in a relationship or a person. All right, so this is very interesting. The next card is also upright. It's the Knight of Pentacles. A Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone like into those traits or attributes, maybe most specifically Virgo, which along with Gemini is again ruled by Mercury, which enters Scorpio. And the next card is the Knight of Cups again. This is really sort of incredible. I mean, you saw me shuffle, you saw me cut into like 15, 20 different piles. And for all these cards to come up together, it's kind of interesting to me. And especially with the next card too, it is upside down. So I'm going to stop, but it is the Two of Cups in reverse. So right now, perhaps two people aren't necessarily on the same page, but maybe by the end of the week, they get there. Because then we have the Three of Cups and that celebration that we saw before. I'm glad I took a peek at that. Now I don't remember what I was talking about though, in terms of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. But your card is Major Arcana card Strength in reverse, which I say all the time is one of my favorite cards and is a wonderful card, whether it's upright, in reverse, and in any and every area of your life. In committed relationships, strength is about, even in reverse, relationships that are strong, that the couples are mutually supportive of one another and have each other's backs in a very like solid way. And for singles, it means that you have like this week like a better than average or better than normal or usual, like really really increased chances of meeting somebody like that they will solidly be by your side or have your back, and you them, like mutual adoration, mutual respect, mutual support, and a strong relationship. So it's a really awesome card. There was something else that popped into my head while I was trying to think. When you do these things live, as opposed to like people that have their cards out and already and had an opportunity to have a plan, or even people that don't appear to have their cards out, but you can't see the cards, you can see them, they're all up in the camera and stuff like that. I always feel like they have an opportunity to think about what they're going to say. And I have to be very, on people like me, not just me, have to be very like off the top of your head, like what message is coming in. So sometimes I'm like fighting more than one at the same time. Like, wait, I don't want to hear this one yet. I'm trying to listen to this one. So as I was talking about this, I was trying to block something else out. It was about the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles actually came up in the general reading too. And I think representing not the fire signs, but in this first placement, representing the collective in general, whatever sign we are or element we are. The card that's going to represent us most directly this week. And it's a card about being, kind of bored with your current relationship. So maybe that's another reason why the Two of Cups appear in reverse. Again, like in the beginning of the week, perhaps maybe not necessarily being on track or on the same page with a mate or partner, or if we're single, not necessarily knowing what our next move is going to be, what our next steps are, or whether or not we want a relationship, and if so, what kind or with whom. But by the end of the week, I think we have an inclination as to what that is, or we've actually done something about it and made a move on it. So moving on to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Again, the Six of Swords is about like changing your like scenery, a change of scenery, like moving or traveling into a new and fresh space, and sort of like not looking back. Like the worst is behind you. Any funky spaces you had been in are behind you, and sort of not revisiting those and not looking back. Everything is like full steam ahead. And it can be about literal travel or literal movement or moving, maybe even cohabitation. And, it can be metaphoric too, like we're moving on. And whether that means you moving on, away from a relationship or moving on with a relationship, it's positive. Like it's the positive choice for you. For some people, the positive thing to do is to move on from a relationship. Maybe it's toxic, right? And for others of us, we're moving toward something. So very nice card for us too. we may end up sort of like facing some situations too this week that, like, once and for all, and then again they get resolved in the most positive way possible, and then we move forward, whatever that means for us. All right, so going on to last but not least, the water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Again, your card is the Hierophant with Romeo and Juliet appearing on it. And it's funny because the Hierophant, in terms of love, is a card of, well, the Hierophant period is a card of tradition. And in love, it sort of means like love relationships should be going well. And again, deepening of commitments up to and including marriage. It's a card of contracts and commitments and marriage. So we could be getting married this week. We could be getting engaged this week, or, making some sort of commitment, deepening our commitment, entering the next phase, whatever it is. As long as we are two people that, unwilling to sort of buck the system. If we're doing it the way that it's supposed to be done, like whatever that means, like by your family standards, maybe by your ideologies, by society standards, the way it's supposed to be. If you're doing something unconventional, like two people from two families that are at war deciding to come together, then that's like the Hierophant in reverse. That's not the Hierophant upright. This is following all the rules. So if you're in a relationship where you're not following the rules, or you're not the type of person to follow the rules, and you have some sort of alternative lifestyle, then this is going to have a different meaning for you. I wouldn't tell anybody to behave differently and to not be in their truth, whatever that is, for the week. So you may have a situation that arises based on you sort of not being able to fit inside this box. Those of you who fit inside the box, should be a really awesome week for you. You may even get, engaged or something. I'm going to clarify or supplement these cards with, again, the Universal Love Oracle. I really wanted to do that hashtag creepy deck because that one has characters in it, like foul friend. That's not one of the cards, but that's the first thing that came off my head. But it's kind of, or at least I see those kind of things in it, in the cards. And so I wanted to, I don't know, I was moved, guided to sort of put those faces to these cards, but maybe it's a temptation that I wasn't supposed to feed into, because I couldn't find them to save my life. All right, so I'm beginning with Physical Body from the Universal Love Oracle, and a similar card from a different deck came up in the general reading, and that's where I got the feelings about the intimacy and the sexual energy. So now, especially since we've seen the sex die twice in the love reading, and now I'm starting with this card, again, I'm thinking, especially with these colors too, like the sacral chakra is represented by orange. So this card has a lot of orange in it. I had said that it could be something very physical that somebody's doing, going to the GYN, maybe fertility clinic, so that if you're working on getting pregnant, and that would be fire energy too, like the Queen of Wands. She's a card of fertility, and she's held up in the love and relationship placement of the general reading. Also, I said where people had maybe some sort of trauma, or they just felt like they needed a fresh start in terms of their physical body. Looking at it in terms of your body is your home, your body is your temple kind of thing. I even saw things like vaginal rejuvenation and maybe yoni steam and stuff. And I don't know what men do, but whatever you do, sage your your area, something, whatever you do, some of you may want to do that this week as well. The next card is in reverse. It is Reflection. So it's a card of introspection, but again, it's in reverse. Sorrow here, reversed. Physical Body. Expectancy, also upside down. So there aren't really any reversals in this deck, but I'm just making note of how the cards are turning up. Dreams in reverse, which kind of, it always gives me a Pisces energy, and maybe even tied to the moon. We do have a new moon this week also, I think on the 16th, the new moon in Libra. And that is also like Pisces energy and showed up in the general reading too in reverse. Celebration. Some more of this sort of Three of Cups kind of stuff. Definitely some reuniting this week. Healing sounds. And look how she has some sort of orb or something near her, privates, her sacral chakra. I definitely think some of us are focusing specifically on healing this area. But again, healing sounds for me can be like very literally like listening to binaural tones, or meditation is something. And that is a healing sound. And then healing sounds is also things that heal situations and relationships, like apologies. An apology is a healing sound. I forgive you is a healing sound. I love you is a healing sound, right? To help, if it heals an area, heals a hurt, it makes you feel better. So it could be that too. It could be that, or it could be listening to your favorite genre of music, or again, a meditation, whether it's a guided meditation or it's just, you listening to tones, or listening to yourself think, like sitting and listening to silence. That could be a healing sound for somebody. So whatever it means for you. I'll do one more shuffle, and it is divine guidance. And here we do have some moon energy trying to come through. And it is emergence, like a phoenix, which is more Scorpio energy. If you look up phoenix, it talks about how it's connected to the energy of Scorpio, because they were believed to live for 500 years. So always going through these cycles of death and rebirth. Like they go away for a while and then they emerge. And the myth or story goes that it was the same phoenix that be re-emerging because they lived for so long. And the next card is in reverse. It is Tantric Union. All right, so I'm going to pull 4 cards the same way I pulled these 4. One for each element to supplement what we have here, beginning with the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, your card was the Wheel of Fortune upright, and you're getting Trilogy of Light. And so this is about connections to spirit. And you may need, since this is about you maybe again needing to like renegotiate your contract, your commitment, talk about it, figure out what you want in your life in terms of love life. Even for those of you who are single, some of you may want to talk to spirit, whatever that means for you, in order to figure that out. And moving on to the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Your card is Sorrow. It was in reverse. And it can be about not realizing the strength that you have. Not realizing that you are empowered. And that you can change. If you are feeling this way, you have the power to change the situation, change your mood. But again, the strength card is about deepening of commitment. So you maybe after you resolve a situation, then it deepens. Like as a result of you communicating or something, and maybe somebody ending up like this, then it deepens because we get everything out. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is Embrace. It too was in reverse. And this can be literal, can be about, a couple coming together in this very, tight and loving looking hug. But actually this card is about one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a balanced way. And this is the 6 of Swords. And 6s are, in fact, about balance and equality and equity. So these cards very well connect. It can be about us as individuals needing to find that balance in order to move forward too. And lastly, for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Wow. Your card is Soulmate. And it looks like a reemergence because you have this, this feminine, this female nude body popping up from out of a lotus flower. So again, for some of you who I think had been sleeping like a phoenix, and maybe even in separation. This could be you making a comeback, or those of you who are single, this is you deciding this week that you're ready to get back out there. You've moved beyond some things. And for others, this is just connected to the energy of the Hierophant and that love and union energy, and again, maybe even marriage. We'll get advice now. I won't reshuffle these cards since we just shuffled them. And I won't reshuffle this deck either, but I do have some other tarot cards that I'm going to shuffle for us. So from these decks, I'm just taking the next card. From this one, I want you to see that the Knight of Cups is upright. So I'm leaving him that way. Oh, did I shuffle these in front of you? Yes. Because I'm like, the Knight of Cups, he was there when I started. I forgot he ended up there again. So yeah, I'm taking them right off the back. Upright, since there are reversals in this deck. And these will mix up a bit. We're beginning with the Dreamer, or the Fool. You're starting a new adventure, run free and take a leap of faith, but there's fear in doing that. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. So this is somebody who is suffering a major anxiety, maybe about taking a leap of faith, maybe about getting married or a deepening of commitment, having a family, again, being a parent. Here's another 7 of Cups. You got to make a choice. What do you want? What kind of person? What kind of relationship? Just tossing in the ones that we've seen, and then we'll give these a fresh mix-up. We've ended up with the Hierophant again as our overall energy. Major Arcana card 5. Traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So this card most directly represents the sign of Taurus. Behind it is an Ace of Wands. So it can maybe this week we're straightening things out. We're resolving situations. We're, getting on the same page. And then this delay will be over, and we'll start this new beginning here. Further advice this week to the masculine from the Animal Tarot is Major Arcana card 13, Death, represents the sign of Scorpio. It's time to release the past and to move on toward something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So again, like, especially in talking about this, letting go of something that was holding you back and causing you to not even realize how strong you are, and moving, forward, deciding a conscious decision to move forward. For the feminine, for us, it is the 9 of Pentacles. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. So this is a card that is fabulous if you're single, and it's fabulous if you're coupled. It is about spending time by yourself, if you are single, getting to have a better relationship with yourself, very much like this Embrace card, and, getting that balance within inner masculine and feminine. If you're coupled, then this is about mutual respect and adoration, and seeing both of you seeing each other in like a positive light, and, valuing the relationship, feeling worthy of it, and that they can go like all the way. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine, 5 of Wands, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Can be about conflict. For me, it's not always. It's very representative of the planet Mars itself, which is about is a go-getter. Mars is the planet of action and aggression. So it can be about pursuit and going after what you want. Maybe returning, like I was talking about before, returning from separation, shaking off whatever fear was holding you back, even if it is something like I've had a baby, while I was gone or whatever the case is, shaking that off, and by any means necessary, you are pursuing what it is you want or who it is you want. It can also be about conflict. For me, with the wands, if it's not about ourselves being conflicted, then it is about some sort of conflict with close friends and or family, including exes or like our child's other parent or something like that, even if we're not together. And lastly, specific to tarot practice, traditional tarot practice, it can be about, that maybe your mate or interest has more than one suitor, or maybe that's you. And there's like people sort of competing for your attention. For the feminine, it is the Six of Cups. Memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. Six of Cups, a soulmate card in the tarot. Again, sixes themselves about equity and equality and coming together in love. This is also about like people from your past returning to your life. Maybe even exes, people that you've dated already. From this deck, I want to be careful about how I turn them over because there are reversals in this deck. So the masculine's card is the 10 of Wands in reverse. Maybe moving beyond, again, some sort of struggle, strife, feeling like the weight of the world was on his shoulders or is on his shoulders this week. Having a lot going on, a lot on his plate to deal with and handle. And maybe that's why not feeling very strong or energized, possible. And for the feminine, our card is the Page of Wands. So again, new opportunities, particularly in love. Somebody could be making some sort of proposal to you in terms of love, like do you want to go out, on a date or something like that. I have a proposal for you. I have an opportunity for you. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, it is Message from Afar. And this very fiery energy, again, perhaps the planet Mars, perhaps the planet Jupiter, sending you this information, perhaps a partner with whom you are in separation and you guys are communicating energetically. And it could be something very literal, like a long distance phone call or getting online and, they're on the other side of the world from you and just coming into communication. It's often about like signs and synchronicities and things for me also. And lastly, for the feminine, the Universal Heart. This is a very good card in terms of like somebody realizing their value and worth as an individual, and that each person, like each of these little dots, for example, that looks like little stars in the universe, is necessary to come together in order to form this whole. So we need you as a person. We need you to be whole and well and happy and healthy as an individual to contribute to the higher good of us all. So those of you who are not ready necessarily to get into a relationship, not ready to be traditional, perhaps, then that may be what you're working on, and you could connect with the Nine of Pentacles energy in terms of maybe deciding this week at least to remain single, perhaps. Hope you guys have enjoyed the weekly love reading. I will be back with a moon reading, and in that one, I'll do the perspective from the Divine Masculine. That's why I didn't do it here. We'll include that in our new moon, Libra new moon reading. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment here on this one. You're not yet a subscriber, consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. I need you to hit both because I have tons of problems with my channel, one of which is the fact that my subscribers often are not notified that I've put up a new video and have to try to find me in the search bar, and it gets ridiculous. So try to hit both of those, and we'll all keep our fingers crossed that you get notified. Thank you. If you don't want to do any of that, that's fine too. I appreciate you coming here and watching the reading with us. Namaste.